Hello students, welcome to our next online lecture for physics for rotational dynamics. It is the lecture number 10. Now here in this lecture I am going to explain the moment of inertia. Is that? This is not the lecture 10 but it is the lecture 11. In this lecture I am going to explain about the moment of inertia. The moment of inertia is a physical quantity that is related to rotating body, or it is depends on the rotational motion. Now again we consider the linear motion and the rotational motion. Suppose in linear motion, and what is meant by rotational motion? You know very well about it. In linear motion, when we apply the force, the body started to move in a straight line, that is called as linear motion. Means in the linear motion, when we apply some force, then the body can change its state of rest, or if the body is moving, if the body is in motion, it will stop by applying some external force. Means the body will change its state of rest or state of motion when we apply some external force on the body. When the body changes state of rest or state of motion, it opposes to change its state. That opposition is called as linear inertia. That is called as linear inertia. Means in linear inertia, the body opposes to move in a straight line. The body opposes to produce the linear motion. Or if the body is linear in the linear motion, the body will not stop unless we act some force on it, and the body has the tendency to oppose it. That is called as the linear inertia, and this linear inertia is totally depends on the mass of the body. If the body has more mass, is that its inertia is more to change its state of rest or state of motion. So mass is the measure of linear inertia, and in linear motion we know that there is the linear displacement which is analogous to angular displacement in rotational motion. Also there is linear velocity which is analogous to angular velocity in rotational motion, and there is linear acceleration which is related or analogous to angular acceleration in rotational motion. Now we know what is rotational motion. When the body rotates about a particular axis, that is called as rotational motion. The spinning of the earth about its own axis, that is called the rotation of the earth, and we all know that due to the rotation of the earth, the days and nights are appear. So that is the rotational motion. In rotational motion, the body has the tendency to oppose to rotate. Is that to produce the rotation motion, every body can oppose to produce the rotational motion in that body. That is called as the rotational inertia. And this rotational inertia is not depend only on the mass, but it also depends on the distance. Rotational inertia is not depends only on the mass, but it depends only on the distance of the mass from the axis of rotation. How the mass is distributed from the axis of rotation, I will explain in the definition also. So in the linear motion, when we apply the force, the body can change its state of rest or state of motion. In rotational motion, when we want to rotate the body, a single force, we never apply the single force, but we apply the torque. And you know about the torque. That torque is analogous to force. Here in linear motion, the force plays some role, the same role plays by torque here in the rotational motion. So first I am going to explain what is meant by torque. In 11th you will learn about the torque. Actually torque is the action of the pair of the forces. When the two forces acting on the body, if there is a rigid body and the two forces acting on this body having same magnitude, suppose these forces have same magnitude but opposite direction, separated by some particular distance. This action of these two forces, when these forces are acting on the body in opposite direction, the body can rotate due to the resultant of these two forces. We can say there is the torque is produced. that torque is equal to force multiplied by magnitude of one of the force multiplied by perpendicular distance. You have learned it actually in your 11th class, that is torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance between that forces. This torque produces the rotational motion. Means when we want to open the lid of the बॉटल्स आपल्याला झाकण उघडायचं आहे तर आपण दोन बोटांनी असा फोर्स लावतो बघा. म्हणजे दोन फोर्सेस आपण दोन पॉइंटला अपोजिट डायरेक्शनने लावतो. आपल्याला जर नळ टॅप सुरू करायचा आहे, नळ उघडायचा आहे तर आपण असं उघडतो का? नाही, आपण त्याला असं रोटेट करतो. म्हणजे काय करतो, दोन बोटांनी आपण असे फोर्सेस लावतो नळावर की एक फोर्स या डायरेक्शनने तर एक या डायरेक्शनने. एक्झॅक्ट टू फोर्सेस ऍक्टिंग ऑन द सेम बॉडी but in the opposite direction, they produce the rotation. That is the torque. Is that so? What is the moment of inertia? The moment of inertia of a rigid body depends not only on the mass but it depends on the distance also. So for that I give you two examples. Suppose there are we consider first example. There are the two masses m1, point masses. Suppose we consider m1 and m2 are the 2 point masses separated by, suppose this is the center of the system. From the center of the system there is the axis passing from the center of the system perpendicular to, means the two masses are attached by a weightless string. String has no weight and the two masses rotate in this direction. Now m1 and m2. Suppose m1 is at a distance r1 from this center and m2 is at a distance r2. Means what is the distance of particle m1 from the axis of rotation? That is r1. r2 is the distance of this particle m2 from the axis of rotation. And what is the axis? A line passing through the body. Around that line the body rotates. That is called as the axis of rotation. So here I write the moment of inertia I can say the moment of inertia is the sum of m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square. Means I have taken the product of mass of the particle multiplied by square of its distance from the axis of rotation. Again I have taken here the second product of mass of the particle m2 into the square of its distance. The total quantity gives us the moment of inertia. Now let us see the one more example. Suppose we consider there are the four particles of same masses. Each particle has mass m and they are placed at the four corners of a rectangle and the axis is passing here from the center of the length. The body rotates in such a way that when the particles are at this 4 point, they are attached by the rods. That rod has no mass, we consider. They are massless. Though they are rigid but light. And here in the total system, what is the mass? 4 particles having the masses. Is that? Now suppose I consider, suppose this total distance is twice a. Means I can say the distance of this particle from the axis of rotation is a and this is also a. Means I will consider the length of that rectangle is twice a. Again this particle is at a distance a from the axis of rotation. This particle is at a distance a from the axis of rotation. So how I can find the moment of inertia here? The moment of inertia I is equal to, I can say m into a square. Again for the second particle m into a square. For the third particle again m into a square. Again for the fourth particle m into a square. As there are the 4 particles of same masses and all that are situated at the same particular distance a from the axis of rotation, I get this equation, and here I can say I is equal to 4 times mass into the square of its distance from the axis of rotation. That is the moment of inertia. Thus, how we can define the moment of inertia? The moment of inertia is the sum of product of mass of each particle and square of the distance of that particle from the axis of rotation. That is called as the moment of inertia. How we can define it? See here. What is the definition for moment of inertia? Moment of inertia of a rigid body about a given axis of rotation is the sum of the products of the masses of its particles and the square of their respective perpendicular distance from axis of rotation. Yes, here we take the sum of the product of the masses of each particle and square of their respective distance from the axis of rotation. That is called as moment of inertia. Here in this example there are only 2 particles. Here also there are only 4 particles. So we take the 4 sums. Here we take the sum of 2 quantities. But if suppose there is a rigid body and the total rigid body is divided into large number of particles of masses, suppose m1, m2, m3 up to mn. There are n number of particles. N may have any value, 100, 10, 4, 2, 6, any number. N number of particles are there in the body, and all that particles are situated at a distance r1, r2, r3 up to rn. Then how we can write the equation for moment of inertia? I is equal to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus dash 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 up to mn rn square. Means we have to take the sum of up to product of mass of each particle and mass of each particle and square of its respective distance from the axis of rotation. We have to take the sum of all n particles. We can write mathematically this expression as I is equal to summation of mi ri square, where I varies from 1 to n. This is the definition of moment of inertia. Moment of inertia. In the moment of inertia, you can say the moment of inertia is directly proportional to the mass of the body. Yes, and here we have said that in the definition, moment of inertia of a rigid body about a given axis. Means it is very important to know that the moment of inertia of a body is depends on the axis of rotation. The body may have different axis of rotation. For that I am going to show you one object. Now here we consider, suppose this is a rod. Yes, this is a rod. This rod can rotate about an axis passing through its center. Is that? Means here this is a rod and this is the axis of rotation. Suppose the rod rotates in such a way. Now from the axis of rotation on this side there are the number of particles, and here also there are the number of particles which are situated from the center of axis at a same distance on both the sides. And here we can calculate the moment of inertia of the rod. But the axis, we must say here what is the axis. The axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its length. But now I replace the axis here and I put the axis at its one end. See here. Now this is the axis, and how the rod rotate? The rod rotate in this way now. This is the axis of rotation and all the particles are from the axis of rotation. Now see here, in this case from the axis of rotation the particles at this end are at a large distance. The distribution of mass from the axis of rotation is at a large distance. So when we take the product of square of distance for such a particles at a large distance, there we get the product more, m1 r1 square, m2 r2 square up to mn rn square. For this axis the moment of inertia will be large rather than this moment of inertia about this axis. If I can put the axis here also, I can put the axis at any point and I can rotate the body. Thus the moment of inertia of the body depends on the axis of rotation also. For different axis of rotation the moment of inertia is different. Means what are the features of moment of inertia here again? The moment of inertia is directly proportional to mass of the body and the moment of inertia for a body depends on the distribution of mass from the axis of rotation, and also the moment of inertia for the different axis of rotation for a same body is different. That are the features of moment of inertia. Now in your book there is one example of moment of inertia of ring. How you can calculate the moment of inertia of a ring. Now suppose this is your ring. This is your ring, and ring is passing about an axis, passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane. When the ring rotates, so each particle of the, if I see here is one particle, that particle from the center, it is at a distance r, that is the radius of the ring. This is the uniform ring. We consider a uniform ring. If I divide this ring into number of particles, every particle will be at its same distance from the axis of rotation, that is r, because the axis of rotation is passing through the center of mass, that is from the center of the ring. Suppose capital R is the radius of the ring and capital M is the mass of the ring. If I divide the ring into number of particles, small m1, small m2, see here, this is the diagram given in your book. I consider a ring rotating about an axis, passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane, here in this anti-clockwise direction. Now R is the radius and capital M is the mass of the ring. Suppose we divide the ring into number of particles, then how we can calculate the moment of inertia? m1 into r square, m2 into r square, because every particle is at a same distance. So I can say m1 r square plus m2 r square plus m3 r square up to mn r square. And r square get common here. And when I take in the bracket m1 plus m2 plus m3 up to mn, that are the particles of, total particles of this ring. If we take the sum of that m1 plus m2 plus m3 up to mn, we will get the total mass of that ring. And so I can say the moment of inertia is equal to capital M into r square. That is the moment of inertia of the ring, where capital M is equal to m1 plus m2 plus dash dash up to mn are the particles situated at a equal distance, radius. Here we get the mass of the ring, capital M. So the moment of inertia of a ring is mr square. Why we can find? We get the simple formula for moment of inertia of a ring because it is a symmetrical body. When the bodies are symmetrical, we can obtain the moment of inertia by the integration, and that's why I can write the formula for moment of inertia is equal to I is equal to integration of m into r square. By integrating, we can find the moment of inertia of a rigid body. Otherwise, we have to find the moment of inertia of any rigid body mathematically. Experimentally, we can find the moment of inertia of any body when we divide the body. When we find out the distance of each particle of that body from the axis of rotation, by using the equation formula, we can find the moment of inertia of any body. Thus, moment of inertia. What is moment of inertia? Moment of inertia is same as that of the linear inertia in linear motion. In linear motion, the linear inertia, that is depends on the mass of the body. And what is its tendency? To oppose, to change its state of rest or state of motion. Similarly, in rotational motion, when we want to rotate the body has a tendency to oppose that motion. If the body is rotating continuously, it is in motion, we want to stop that body. There also the body has the tendency to oppose, to stop. Yes, that property means that property by virtue of which the body can show that oppose, that is called as the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia is nothing but the measure of opposition offered by that body to produce the rotational motion or to change the state of rotational motion, that is called as moment of inertia. Thus, in this video, I have explained about the moment of inertia by giving the examples. Thank you.